In previous videos I've shown off my collection of Doctor Who and Star Trek DVDs, and now it's time for Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis, to be precise. The show starts out as a formulaic action-adventure series, but it soon develops a rich and detailed mythology all of its own, full of fascinating stories and memorable characters. In this video I'll be looking through all these DVDs, showing you the special features, as well as picking out my favourite episodes and telling you what I think of each series as we go along. So let's get started. First up we have the original movie from 1994. On its own it's quite a simple story, just a fun sci-fi action-adventure where the US Army finds a portal to another world, goes through it and frees a bunch of slaves from their alien ruler. But it does set up the characters and lore that would be followed upon in the series. James Spader gives a great performance as Dr. Daniel Jackson, very different from his usual arrogant, know-it-all persona that he has in shows like Boston Legal and The Office. But Kurt Russell as O'Neill is just a standard gruff soldier character, but with a tragic past to make him feel more human. When the movie was turned into a series, Stargate SG-1, Richard Dean Anderson took over as O'Neill, and he's much more successful, bringing a wry, wisecracking humour to the role. Michael Shanks takes over as Daniel Jackson. He tones down some of the character tics from the movie to make him much more of a rounded character. Amanda Tapping as Samantha Carter starts out with some very on-the-nose feminist dialogue, but soon becomes the team scientist and gets all the technobabble exposition. And Christopher Judge plays the stoic alien Teal'c. In some episodes he doesn't say much besides "indeed." But over the course of the series he does develop his own sense of humour. Most of Season 1 is quite formulaic. At the start they find a way to make the Stargate dial more alien planets, and soon find that most of them have also been taken over by the evil Goa'uld aliens, who are also coming for Earth. So most of the time they're just visiting a different planet every week and sorting out their problems. But there are a few standout episodes that help to develop the story. The Torment of Tantalus really expands on the lore of the show, setting up countless storylines for the years ahead. And There But For the Grace of God is a really good parallel universe episode where everything goes to hell, which sets up the season finale, where everything in the real universe looks like going the same way. This DVD collection has basically no extras, but it does have the 18 rated pilot episode, which contains some nudity, unlike the rest of the series. Season 2 comes in this big box set. Made up of 6 discs, labelled Volume 2, Volume 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, there's no extras, but the final disc does contain 2 episodes from Season 1, just in case you hadn't already got them. Season 2 builds on Season 1 and opens up the story a lot more. It introduces the Tok'ra, a faction of rebel Goa'uld who ally with the humans. The 5th race brings in the Asgard, a race of aliens who look like greys and are played by rather charming puppets. And the episode 1969 is the first one where they travel in time, and it won't be the last. Season 3 is when I started buying the discs individually. I remember they came out every month, and I had to go to Woolworths to buy them, so it must have been the days before online shopping really took off. But this is where they started to make extras. First disc has the featurette, Gateway to the Edge of the Universe. The second disc has Profile on Captain Carter and another featurette. The third disc has a profile on Teal'c. Fourth disc, $16.99. Yeah, maybe it wasn't really worth it. But it does have a profile on General Hammond and a featurette on the costume designer. Next disc has profile on Daniel Jackson and a featurette designing new worlds. And the final disc contains over an hour of special features and behind the scenes footage, which certainly sounds worth it. It's really just the one documentary, Stargate SG-1 Timeline to the Future. But it is over an hour long, so this must be where they really started to put some effort into these DVDs. And it's another strong season, building on the characters and storylines from earlier seasons. This is where you start to get episodes set on Earth, such as Seth and Foothold, where you have aliens or alien technology affecting the wider population, and the team have to stop it and cover it up, which makes a nice change from the alien planet storylines. This also introduces the Replicators, another alien race who look like they're built out of Meccano or something, and are an ongoing threat in the years to come. Season 4, we get even more extras. There's behind-the-scenes featurettes and audio commentaries on every single disc, which certainly help to give it added rewatch value. The commentary tracks featuring Peter DeLuise are particularly humorous. And there are some excellent episodes as well. Window of Opportunity is a Groundhog Day-style time loop episode, where O'Neill and Teal'c repeat the same 10 hours over and over again, leading to some of the funniest scenes in the series. 2010 is another great time travel episode, starting in an alternate future, where Earth has been taken over by mysterious aliens. Disc 2 has 4 audio commentaries, as does Disc 3, Disc 4, Disc 5. Disc 6 only has 2 episodes, but they both have commentaries and a ton of documentaries as well. On to Season 5, 4 audio commentaries and a video diary. Disc 2 has 4 audio commentaries and a video diary from Amanda Tappin. Disc 3, 4 audio commentaries and a video diary from Christopher Judge. Disc 4, 4 audio commentaries and a video diary from Michael Shanks. Disc 5, 4 audio commentaries and not much else. Disc 5, 2 audio commentaries and 3 behind-the-scenes features. This season has the 100th episode, Wormhole Extreme, where they go behind the scenes on a fictional sci-fi show, which allows them to do an extended self-parody, so it's essential viewing for all fans. And it also has the big season finale, which kills off one of the main characters. So it's very much the end of an era. On to Season 6, which brings in this guy, Corin Nemec as Jonas Quinn. He's decent enough, but not really a memorable character, and he doesn't last beyond this year. All the DVDs have commentaries and behind-the-scenes extras. It's Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and Volume 6. This season also introduces the Prometheus, an Earth spaceship built using alien technology, which allows them to have all sorts of Star Trek-style adventures, and opens up the scope of the series even more. Season 7 brings the original team back together, but Richard Dean Anderson is only working part-time, so they have to keep thinking of new ways to write out his character. So it's not the best season. I think it's starting to feel a bit tired at this point. And towards the end, a lot of it is merely setting up Stargate Atlantis. But the discs are all packed with audio commentaries and behind-the-scenes features, so you are definitely getting your money's worth. That's Disc 2. Disc 3. Disc 4. Disc 5. And Disc 6. These are the discs for Season 8. There's no audio commentaries this time around, but there are behind-the-scenes featurettes on each one. And the first volume comes with a bonus episode of Stargate Atlantis, the spin-off which aired around the same time. The opening two-parter sets the scene for Stargate Atlantis. There's no real story crossovers between the two series, but there are characters who start on SG-1 and move over to Atlantis. So from this point on, you may want to watch a series of SG-1 followed by the corresponding series of Atlantis, and then alternate back and forth until SG-1 ends. For the purposes of this video, I'll wait until I've covered all of SG-1 before moving on to Atlantis, but I will put a viewing order in the description for anyone who wants to experience the two series without being spoiled. As far as the rest of Season 8 goes, it's not one of the best. Richard Dean Anderson is still working part-time, and they promote his character to General. But they don't give him a replacement on the main team, so some of the episodes feel a bit empty. But the finale does bring the whole Goa'uld story to an end, so it's quite satisfying for anybody who's been following it for all those years. Season 9 is when I stopped buying the monthly discs and just waited for it all to come out in the one big box set, like so. But as you can see, it's just the same 6 discs again, all connected in the one box. And here are the individual discs. They come with audio commentary on every episode again. As well as the usual behind the scenes featurettes. So Season 9 is where the show kind of reboots itself. Moves away from the Egyptian mythology and starts looking into the Arthurian legends. And there's a new race of bad guys called the Ori, who are kind of religious fundamentalists. There's a bunch of new characters. Paul Bridges joins as the new general. Ben Browder from Farscape joins the team, playing basically the same character he played on Farscape. And Claudia Black also joins the team. She was also on Farscape, but now she's playing a very different character. A fun, flirty rogue called Vala Maldoran. And all the episodes she's in are a definite highlight. And now we have the final season of SG-1, Season 10, which again comes in a massive box set. But there's only 5 discs in this one. They all have audio commentaries and featurettes. But this time round, there are also some deleted scenes, which is always nice to see. And who knows what we might have got as the show continues. Yeah, this brings in Marina Baccarin from Firefly and Deadpool as the final villain of the series. It doesn't actually wrap up the storyline. There is a really good final episode, Unending, where you get to see the entire cast live out their lives until ripe old age, which provides some closure for the characters, but not the storyline. But the storyline is concluded in the TV movie Stargate the Ark of Truth, which again comes with commentary track and featurettes. And it does a good job of wrapping up the Ori storyline from seasons 9 and 10. Though it does pack in a lot of plot in quite a short time, so it does feel a bit rushed. Finally, SG-1 finishes with one last TV movie, Stargate Continuum, which again comes with commentary and featurettes. Most of it takes place in an alternate universe, so it's not exactly essential. But it's a fun romp, and if you followed the characters this far, then it's one last story to enjoy with them. Moving on to Stargate Atlantis. I got the first season in the familiar monthly discs, which have featurettes but no audio commentaries. And This show takes place in an ancient city in another galaxy. Tori Higginson plays Dr. Elizabeth Weir, the leader of the expedition, for the first few years at least. You've got Joe Flanagan as Major Shepard, who's basically the Richard Dean Anderson type, the wisecracking soldier. And there's David Hewlett as Dr. Rodney McKay. He's possibly the standout character, an arrogant, snarky scientist who gets all the best lines. There's also Rachel Luttrell as Taylor, the token alien of the team, and Paul McGillian as Dr. Beckett. He's not in every episode, but he does have a great story arc throughout the series. The episode's split between typical Stargate adventures, where they travel to new planets and battle the aliens of this galaxy called the Wraith. And there's also episodes where they're just exploring the city and finding out its secrets, which are probably my favourites. Underground introduces Colin Meaney as the leader of the Janai, who are kind of the secondary antagonists of the series. And there's a big two-part ending where the Wraith attack the city. Season 2 onwards, bought in these box sets, which come with booklets for the first time. And that's a list of extras, again, commentaries and featurettes. And these are how they store the discs. Yeah, season 2 is notable for bringing in Jason Momoa, who's now a massive movie star, as Ronan Dex, another alien who joins the team. He's got some great action scenes and he shows a lot of charisma, so it's no surprise that he went on to much bigger things. It also introduces Connor Trunier from Star Trek Enterprise as Michael, a Wraith human hybrid who appears throughout the rest of the series and has a really good story arc. Season 3 comes in another box set with another booklet, and it's got all the usual audio commentaries and episode featurettes that you've come to expect by now. So this season introduces yet another alien race, the Pegasus Replicators, who are similar to the Replicators from SG-1. Season 3 is probably where the series peaks. After this they do get rid of a couple of characters, and it's never quite the same again. Season 4 comes in this box set. Again with the usual audio commentaries and featurettes. But they also have some deleted scenes as well. So this season brings in Amanda Tappin from SG-1, possibly in an attempt to get viewers to come over from that series. She's not a great fit, to be honest, and she only stays a year. But you do also get Jewel State from Firefly as Dr. Keller, and her relationship with McKay is a definite highlight of the last 2 seasons. And finally we have the final season, Stargate Atlantis Season 5. Again, very similar box set, with the usual audio commentaries and deleted scenes. This season brings in Robert Picardo as Dr. Woolsey, who had also been in several episodes of SG-1, as a kind of officious government bureaucrat. But his character does develop over the years, and by this stage he's pretty likeable. There's some memorable episodes in this one. Brainstorm is a great episode for McKay and Keller, and Vegas is a fun alternate reality episode. There was supposed to be a TV movie to follow, but it was cancelled. However, the finale, Enemy at the Gate, does bring the series to a pretty satisfactory conclusion. There were novels and comic books set afterwards, but I haven't felt the need to check out any of them. But I might give them a go after my next watch through. There were also 2 seasons of Stargate Universe. That show had an excellent cast, people like Robert Carlyle and Ming-Na Wen. and it was much darker and sexier than the other shows, heavily influenced by Battlestar Galactica. But it was cancelled after 2 seasons, leaving a lot of unanswered questions, so it is hard to recommend it, even though in terms of sheer quality it's probably the best of the franchise. So that was my Stargate video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like this sort of thing, and I'll see you next time.